Hello everybody, hello and hello and hello. So y'all probably like, Steph, what are you talking about? You late. I'm gonna tell y'all in just a doggone minute why I'm late. I'm gonna say late rather than never, right? And clearly this has nothing to do with me like being late for my period. Oh no, oh no, 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 no. Anywho, I told y'all that I had a story time for y'all, and even though it's late and it's besides the fact that Valentine's Day has come and gone, the month of love is not over quite yet. So I just said rather late than never, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to tell y'all the story of my first Valentine. So clearly y'all can see I'm moving. Okay, I'm in the car and I'm moving, and I am moving because I am en route to go pick up Jazz from work. So why not tell a story while I drive? And as y'all can see, both my hands are on the wheel. I am not holding the camera. Okay, I'm safe. Hello. Anywho, to tell y'all this story, if you have not already hit subscribe, go ahead and do that right now. And I hope you guys like the story time, and I hope you guys have viewed the story time that I did on my first broken heart. Now I'm gonna say it's my first. You know, it's probably my most realist broken heart, and damn sure enough was my last, okay? Because some of y'all have made it perfectly clear, even though it was my first, clearly it was my last, because Mr. Long creeped right on in the picture, right on time. So, with that being said, I told y'all in that particular story time that I had never had a boyfriend during Valentine's Day. Never. Ever. Okay, and I told y'all, men be trying to be cheap, and I'm sorry, but they learned that shit at a very young age, how to be cheap, especially if they ain't got no job, and especially if they got to be asking their parents for money to buy their Valentine a gift. Okay, however, throughout high school when I had boyfriends, I just never seemed to have one during Valentine's Day, nor Christmas, nor my birthday. Okay, however, the one man that made it very, very possible to celebrate my first Valentine's Day with y'all, it was Mr. Long. I'm gonna tell y'all, I have so many first times with him, and I'm gonna tell y'all, or I have mentioned to y'all before in previous story times that talk about my love story with my husband. I have told y'all, like, some of my cousins, some of my family members, especially the females in my family, they really feel like I have like this fairy tale story, and it's not a fairy tale, because fairy tales, well, I don't know, fairy tales do come with some struggles. Okay, let's think about it. Beauty and the Beast, she had to be shacked up in a castle with a beast until she figured out he was gonna turn into the love of her life when she kissed him. Cinderella had to go from riches to rags to riches to find her Prince Charming and get that glass slipper, and basically had to be Florence and a slave to her evil stepmother and stepsisters. Let's see, who else? Sleeping Beauty. Is it Sleeping Beauty? No, Snow White had to endure a poisonous apple from the evil queen, because the evil queen wanted to be the fairest of them all. So you know what? I'm gonna take that back. Fairy tales do have struggles, okay? So with that being said, y'all, me and Mr. Long started dating in 1992, February 17th. I had the date wrong in a previous vlog, and I don't know why February 11th was sticking in my head, but I realized why. February 11th was my original due date with Jasmine, okay? That's why it sticks out. I get the 2 days confused sometimes, but however, I was corrected on the 17th because of a Facebook post that Mr. Long reshared from last year. It was our mug shot, you know, from back in the day till now. And it was just saying that, you know, I've been riding with this man and he's been riding and rolling with me too for the past 20 some odd years. So I was corrected. February 17th of 1992 was when I started dating Mr. Long. And yes, it was a couple of days after Valentine's Day, and it was the day that I asked him, no, it was a couple of days before that, I had asked him to go to my senior prom with me because I didn't want to take no lame ass dude from my high school. I'm just keeping it real. I just didn't. I wanted to show up on the scene with somebody nobody had seen before, and it was gonna be him. So we had agreed that if he did it for me, I was gonna be his date as well. I think he was gonna ask me y'all anyway, okay? But I just beat him to the punch. So a couple of days later, we had talked and I asked him, how did his Valentine's Day go? You know, because back in the day, y'all, Mr. Long used to think he was a player, okay? And I ain't gonna lie, he had women, he had mad game, he did. He just didn't, that game didn't work on me. It didn't. He said I was different. And when a man tells you you're different, and he actually is doing things that generally would not do with someone else, girl, believe you might just be the one, okay? So to say all of that, he had said that he asked me how mine was. And y'all know me and Mr. Long have been friends. We was friends before we became an item. And I told him once again, he already knew I wasn't dating anyone at the time. So no, I didn't have a special Valentine's Day, not at all. However, we were talking and he asked me why did I think. And the same reason that I just shared with y'all, men are cheap. They cheap. They don't want to put no thought into anything. Or if they do get you something, they assume that they are supposed to get something in return. And I'm sorry, for some flowers, a card, some chocolate, I'm sorry, but when you're young like that, it is not worth giving up your precious goods, okay? It's not worth it. It's not. It's called recognize that it's a holiday, and you know, you give me some chocolates and I give you some chocolate, but I'm talking about the kind that you actually put in your mouth and melts in your mouth and you eat, okay? Now that we were an item, of course y'all know I'm on my guard, like, okay, my birthday about to come around, let's see if he dip out. Alright, Christmas about to come around, let's see if he dip out. He didn't. He was there. I think for my birthday that first year that we were together, he took me out to dinner, and he actually took me on a little shopping spree, y'all. Yes, it is. Because fall of '92, y'all know I'm a Virgo, okay? I'm one true to the bone. He had, I was in college, and I was attending Florida Memorial University now. I was attending that school, and I remember he came and he picked me up that day. He took me to Pembroke Lakes Mall. He bought me an outfit to wear that night, and then he took me out to dinner. Okay, that was like warming up, okay? Christmas that year, I don't recall exactly what the gift was. But if I had to guess, I would probably say it was probably a purse, because back in the day, James knew I was like really, really into handbags and stuff. And I want to say it probably, if it wasn't a purse, it probably was like some perfume or something like that, okay? But I do recall he did give me a gift. And this is what made me think, okay, well, the brother been around for first birthday as a couple. He's been around for our first Christmas as a couple. He did come to my family and visit on Thanksgiving and stuff like that. You know, maybe this Valentine's is going to be kind of special. Well, I'm gonna tell y'all, he saved Valentine's to just go all out. Do you hear me? Because my history with men during this holiday just was not, it was not good. It wasn't. So to say the least, I remember this, y'all. Woo! It's about to get hot. okay? I remember that year, 1993, early part of that year. Y'all know after Christmas you always go shopping, and you know, after Christmas sales and stuff like that, you always find like Christmas stuff, you know, stuff that you know, women, y'all know, y'all with me, right? You go shopping after Christmas. Well, I have found this gorgeous emerald green jersey long maxi dress, okay? It has a high split on the side of the leg, and when I tell y'all it fit me like a glove, ask me, do I still have that dress? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And I'm gonna tell y'all why. This dress, it has such significant memories for me. I can't part with it. I can't. I'm a hoarder when it comes to certain things like that, okay, y'all? I just can't part with it. So I had bought this dress to wear with me and Mr. Long, because he had already told me that he had a date planned for me for Valentine's Day. And I was like, okay, well, what are we doing? He said all he needed was for me to be ready at 8 o'clock and, you know, just be ready to go. Not be trying to get ready, be ready, okay? So I'm gonna tell y'all this. My Aunt Maddie was over at our house that night, and my mama was doing her hair. And the doorbell rang. Now my auntie, she was like, where are you going tonight and stuff? And I was like, I don't know. I said, you know, he's gonna surprise me, and you know, I'm just like elated, and I don't know what to expect when it comes to what he's gonna do for me and stuff like that. And so my mama was a little salty because that particular Valentine's Day, she wasn't getting no bites. You know, like I said, they was acting cheap, or you know, they wasn't checking for her, and she was pissed off, y'all. I ain't gonna even lie. Well, honey, she got even more pissed off when Mr. Long showed up. Y'all, we hit the doorbell, ding dong, and she answered it. My mama answered it, and then I, you know, peeped around the corner with my green dress on, y'all. I had my hair all up like, you know, like half ponytail, and I had walked in there. He had a dozen of roses, like long stem roses, like they were all wrapped up in a box, pretty bow, the whole shebang, okay? And that right there had like tears in my eyes. You know, back in the day, y'all, all I was wearing was mascara, some blue eyeliner, a little bit of fashion fair, and a little bit of gloss, right? So she had I was like, I wasn't trying to mess with the little bit of makeup that I had on, okay? But that made me very, very teary-eyed, just for the simple fact that those were like my first flowers that I ever got from a man. They came from my husband. And you know, he had a card, he had chocolate, he had a box, a big heart-shaped box of chocolates, and you know, he had on some slacks, he had on like this cropped blazer. Y'all, it was his favorite jacket to wear back in the day. But it was like this cropped like dinner jacket. He was dressed up like to go out to dinner, like no jeans and nothing like that. He was like dressed up, and I was like just in awe. And then so he hands me this little box that was wrapped up, and it was like a little gold box, and it had like a little bow on it and stuff like that. And he had said, Happy Valentine's Day. And he gave me a kiss. Now my auntie and my mama, they sitting in the kitchen, they just witnessing all of this, okay? So y'all, I opened the box. I always wanted an anklet, and I always wanted an anklet that had my name on it. Well, let me tell y'all, this man, y'all know back in the day, this 1993 we talking about now. He worked at Rally's burger restaurant, formerly known as Rally's, but currently known as Checkers, okay? And so, do y'all know how many checks he had to save up? The previous planning that he clearly had to do for this, because y'all, it was this Figaro chain, flat Figaro chain anklet, and it had Stephanie in a nameplate on it. Y'all, when I tell y'all, I was like, so like, Lord, it is just a beautiful thing when a man listens. when he listens, like when he actively listens to things that you are saying, and like, you know, not just saying he listened, but he actually listens. And that was the experience that I had from like just everything that just unfolded that day, was the fact that he listened to me. You know, I got my first flowers from him, my first box of chocolate candy from him on Valentine's Day, and now my first like expensive gift that was intended for me. For me, y'all. Not something that dude bought for himself and decided to give to me, like I told y'all in my first broken heart. He actually put thought in this for me. Oh my God. He got down on his knee and he put it on my leg, and my Aunt Maddie was like, yes! I'ma tell you, I think Aunt Maddie was the originator of yes! Because y'all, she was like, yes, James did that shit! James did that! And I was like, yes, he did. And my mama, she was smiling. She was happy. She was happy. But I think she was throwing just a little bit of shade because my mama was home on Valentine's Day and not me. So y'all, my mama asked him, she was like, well, where are y'all going? And he told her that he had reservations at a restaurant for me and him, and our reservations was for 9 o'clock. And so the reason he told me to be ready is because he wanted to present this gift to me in front of my mom, and just so happened my Aunt Maddie she was there. And so y'all, when I tell y'all I was cheesing from left to right, I had the biggest Ronald McDonald smile that you could ever have, okay? Oh my gosh, I was just so full. And like I said, y'all, your girl is not materialistic at all, okay? I'm not a materialistic woman. To me, you impress me more by the actual act and the thought of what you do for me than the dollar amount that you kicked out for it. You know what I'm saying? I am not a hard woman to please at all. And I think he learned that about me very early on in our relationship, that I'm more of, if I had to say what my love language when I was younger was, I would have to say it was acts of service. And it was mainly because I wanted a man to basically show me that you loved me. And it didn't have to be about you having the flyest car, the baddest car, the latest car, you know, you around here slinging dope and, you know, just trying to impress me by, you know, just overly doing things. No, I really wanted you to show me that you loved me. And so I've been like this clearly before I even got pregnant with Jasmine. However, if thinking back on it now while I'm sitting here talking to y'all, clearly I was an acts of service type of girl when it comes to my love language when I was younger. So y'all, we got in the car. He was very chivalrous. He was opening doors and all of that. And my man still does that for me to this day, okay? We had ended up at the Olive Garden. When we got there, y'all gonna be like, the Olive Garden? Child, Olive Garden and Red Lobster back in the day when we was growing up, child, that was considered expensive, okay? You just didn't go to Red Lobster like you can just go to Red Lobster now and it ain't expensive. No, because right now, Red Lobster don't put a dent in your pocket, okay? It just don't. That's why that shit funny when Beyonce be like, whenever me good, I take his ass to Red Lobster. Because you know what? Cliche, back in the day, a dude take your ass to Red Lobster, pretty much, he was looking for something. He was looking for that, okay? What you gonna give me for taking you to Red Lobster? Y'all see how B flipped that? Anywho, we went and he had a reservation. They sat us like in the middle of the restaurant. It was like at a table. He pulled out my chair. You know, I remember we had peach daiquiris, virgin daiquiris, because y'all know we was not of age to like legally be drinking at no restaurant or anything like that. And y'all, y'all, it just was beautiful. We had dinner. It was nice. It was so nice. It was just nice. And he was my first Valentine's. When I tell y'all, after dinner and a little later, after all of that, and he took me back home, and he walked me to the door, and you know, to take me back to my mama's house. Clearly walked me back to the front door. Now when I kissed him that night, it was a kiss that I will never ever forget, because he made his mark on my heart at such a young age. And when I tell y'all, James is like my first for everything. I can tell y'all in this story time, our first struggle meal as a couple. We had just had Jasmine. Jasmine was like 5 months old, something like that. And y'all, he was working at McCory's at this time. And like when I say y'all, he was working like 2 jobs. He was working at McCory's and he was working at Sam's. And I was debating on if I was going to be going back to school or not, because I had just had Jasmine. So I remember one night he called me, and well, one day he called me and he was like, you know, what's up? He was like, you want to hang out tonight? And I was like, yeah. And so I told him, I said, I've been really craving Red Lobster. You know, can we go to Red Lobster? My mama said she'll watch the baby, and you know, let's just have a night out for us. And so he was like, okay. So y'all, James gets to the house, and at this time we lived in Fort Lauderdale. He lived in Miami, this was like a 45-minute commute to get to me, okay? So we hung out in Lauderdale. We went to the Red Lobster, and we were sitting in the waiting area, waiting to be called, waiting to be seated. And y'all, he had told me, he was like, Steph, he was like, I'm not that hungry. He was like, I'm not gonna eat. And I was like, what do you mean you're not gonna eat? And he was like, well, I'm not. He was like, I'm not that hungry. And he was like, you know, I just know that you wanted to come out. And he was like, you know, I'm gonna take you out. And so y'all, I'm sitting there for like 10 minutes pondering on him saying he ain't hungry. No, damn well his butt is hungry, okay? So we get to the table, and I wait and let the lady seat us and stuff like that. And so the lady was like, are you guys ready to order? And I was like, no, not quite yet. So then when she walked away, I just discreetly asked him, I said, are you not hungry because you don't have enough money for both of us? I was like, you could be honest. I was like, we got a baby, and you know, I know we struggling, you know, and you know, just the nice gesture of you wanting to take me out tonight, I was like, you know, I appreciate it. And so I was like, but I'm gonna need you to tell me the truth, because I'm not gonna sit here and eat by myself. And then so he had said yes, he didn't have enough money for the both of us. And so I told him I had $50 in my purse, and I was like, why don't we just put our money together and both of us can eat? I said we will order this, and I said we would just drink water, and I was like, and let's just see what happens. Y'all, he said at that very moment, he was like, he always felt like I was the one. He was like, at that very moment, he was like, it became crystal clear to him, she is the one. Y'all, I think our bill came to like $40-something, and I think, no, maybe like $45, $50. Y'all know we gotta leave a tip and stuff like that. And then so we still have money left over, and I was like, well, we can go to the drive-in. Let's even go to the movies. And he was like, you think we have enough for the movies? And I was like, yeah. So we can go to the drive-in, the Thunderbird, and we could go to the drive-in. And I think at the time, like, you could get in the drive-in like with 2 people. You can get in for like $10 or something like that, and you know, and park, watch the movie, spend quality time in the car. Hold on, y'all, he said to me, he was like, Steph, he was like, our love is real. He was like, you're willing to struggle with me, you're willing to share with me, you're willing to just be everything that I guess he hadn't had in other girlfriends. He said that he had found that in me. And so when I tell y'all, y'all can understand While I love him from the very beginning, when we had absolutely nothing or very bare minimum, it always just seemed like a lot. And our love has grown over the years, just like this story. And so it's so important to me that when he retires, I want to be the reason that if he wanted to take 2, maybe 3 years off of work, he can be able to do that, because EclecticNista is doing that well that it's not required that he has to go back to work immediately. Even though the brother gonna have a retirement check and all of that, you know, disability and stuff, he don't have to feel pressured to go back to work, because our lifestyle is gonna be so set in stone that I can afford for us to live well and comfortably without him having to go back to work. Now when the time comes when he wants to, clearly that's all on him. So I hope you guys enjoyed this story time car vlog, and I just, like I said, better late than never, and I still wanted to share this story with you guys, and what better way to share it while I'm driving to go pick up Jazz, okay? So I hope you guys enjoyed. Please thumbs up, and please check me out on my other social media sites such as Snapchat, Instagram, and Facebook at EclecticNista, and I am EclecticNista, and I'll see y'all in the next story time.